What's up, guys? You know who it is. It's your boy Kenny with JDM Muscle. And we're back. We're going to do a little drifting and a little talking about my most recent event this year. So now the camera's set up, I'll sit down, I'll get us drifting, and I'll just talk about, like I said, my first drift event this year, where it was, kind of how it went, and I guess the big thing would be, has Assetto Corsa helped at all? So let's see, let's get started, and then I'll tell you a little about the drift event. Yeah, let's get out onto the main part of the track. There we go, smooth rip. All right, guys, so yeah, this past weekend was a 3-day drift event, 37 and a half hours of drifting. So it was a Friday, Saturday, and partially Sunday. Sunday, we ended up going home early after some car issues. But for Friday and Saturday, amazing days, perfect days, really. I had a couple goals I personally wanted to do myself. The first one was to at least be able to connect a set of corners. Second one was to be able to drift the entire track without any faults or spin outs. And then the third one was I really wanted to try to tandem with one person. And if you have seen my video above from this past weekend of drifting, I was able to go in trains. I think the one video I think we were tandeming between 8 cars of us. Granted, you know, we weren't all just banging doors, but it's still pretty cool to, you know, get out there and be able to run with other people that have been drifting for longer, or other people that have just started, and just make some new friends. So that was really cool. That was at Auto City Speedway. That's in Clio, Michigan, if you know where that is, or if you're following me from locally, I guess, if you're following this channel. But the event was killer, so I was able to do everything I wanted to. Went through some tires, met some new people. Yeah, so super positive event. I learned a lot. Now, how does Assetto Corsa relate in sense of this weekend of drifting? The easiest thing, or the biggest thing that's helped me, is that in the video game, it allows you to, I guess, drift without worry. And what I mean by that is saying, you know, going to this corner, even though we might potentially be able to do it in real life, we have that little bit of fear. The game really allows us to be able to confidently throw it. So I was a little worried my first run going out, but after playing this game for so long, getting behind the seat, getting the car sideways, and knowing what to do with hands and steering wheel was put together really quickly. So I think it was just mind muscle, just kind of that memory was there, and in drift, my feet knew what to do with the hands in correlation to the track and where I was. So I was able to do really well. So I would say, you know, really without Assetto Corsa, and I only play 2 tracks, and I kind of run the same car that feels the closest to my Z. And I think it's worked out really, really well. So I'm going to continue practicing until my next event. So now at this point, my next event is, shoot, I think it's 9 days away is my next event. That's at another track. So this track was set up with, oh, am I gonna stay in? Yep. This event had an outer bank up towards a wall, which was pretty scary because there was nothing on the other side. And then from there was an inner bank. Some people slammed into the wall, which is pretty scary. You know, there goes your car. But it was a good event. So 2 banks and then an inner cross point. So this was kind of like a small little speedway, I guess, where you would run, I don't even know what you would call them, like outlaw type cars, or, you know, just cheaper cars for people to race. So it was a big circle track, and then the inner was an X. So we would go from the outsides down into the inside and then back out. Whoop. I knew I was gonna mess that one up. Yep. Of course, you know, I play Assetto Corsa without a handbrake, and up until this past weekend, I had not used the handbrake in correlation with a corner. It felt comfortable, you know, just constantly playing the game of clutch in, you know, brake, gas, whatever it may be. Pulling the handbrake felt extremely comfortable, even though I have not done it prior to this event. You know, even though I might not have had the feel of how hard to yank it or how hard or long to stay on the handbrake, I can tell that playing the game still helps with a feel of when to handbrake or when to let go, and then when to, you know, gas all the way back in when I'm kind of at that apex point of wanting to swing the car around. Alright guys, so this is going pretty well. I'm not going to run this whole thing all the way down to the timer. We'll get to level 30 and I'm not going to make you watch that much of my drifting. Ooh, big sun. Let's see if we can slide it in. One thing that the game, I guess, has helped with is, you know, prior to this not having the handbrake, I manji a lot, and trying to take that from a video game to real life is a lot different. Sitting in my living room, I don't have the G's or the motion of swinging a car in real life. So manjiing was still a little tough. I tried to manji in every corner still this past weekend, but that's something I wanna work with, just because once you kind of get momentum swinging back and forth like this, you know, you can really feel it. But the game for sure gave me some confidence at manjiing. I was just scared to manji as hard as I would normally in the game, just because, you know, you're throwing it around this hard. If you lose control, I mean, things can get crappy pretty quickly. So I still need to get confidence in just knowing, just because I can throw it hard in the game, if I treat it like real life, should be okay. Alright guys, so thanks for hanging out with me. This is just a little bit of Assetto Corsa and a little drift talk about my past weekend and the one coming up. Oh yeah, real quick on what happened to the Z. So my power steering rack took a huge crap. Both sides were leaking. We kept trying to patch it just to make it through the event. By day 3, or that Sunday, I had no power steering. We ended up still going out, and I was fighting the car pretty hard, of course, because, well, I'm leaking power steering fluid. But we ended up being okay, and I think those were some of my best runs, which sucks because I was just getting really confident behind the car and starting to throw it harder and harder, but that's all right. On to the next event. Just finished the car up last night, so it's all back together. We've got some fresh sets of tires, and from here, guys, we'll be at Corrigan Oil Speedway in Mason, Michigan on the I believe it's the 27th, it's a Saturday. So peace out, and until next time.